Unscripted.
Just because Sony is doing things a little bit differently than they have in the past doesn't mean that they're going to be laying out the pasture or that they're going to be giving up any ground to Microsoft. I mean, let's be real. There's a reason that Sony pretty much has won every generation that they've been a part of, sans the PlayStation 3 generation, which they kind of got full of themselves, but still managed to kind of come back and do a really good job of going out there and, making it so that people actually had something to play. Like, they put so many exclusives out. Even if you hated PlayStation, you had to have one by the end of the generation to play some of those games, and that makes a lot of sense. Going forward, I feel like Sony is going to do something different than they have in the past, but I still think they're going to have some great games and great exclusives, whether those exclusives are full-on exclusives or console exclusive or even timed exclusive. I feel like they understand the point and concept of having traditional content as the reason why people should buy their platform in the first place, and that's a very big plus for me, right? Just going forward, I have to be honest, that is something that I very much kind of look forward to and look at and go, that's pretty awesome. They still look at it like that, and that's really cool. With that being said, they're doing some really cool stuff, and this bit of news right here could win a lot of hearts, could help a lot of people, could mend a lot of broken fences, if you will, with the PlayStation community and the PlayStation brand itself. This is very significant because I feel like this could go a long way in, getting people to feel a little bit more at ease about the direction of PlayStation. Because if they're not what if they're not spending all this money on some of that smaller stuff to get us larger stuff, right? To get us stuff that we've been, like that golden goose that we've been all looking for from the PlayStation side. This could be that instance right here, right now. Like the holy grail of games. This is what a lot of I see so many PlayStation fans ask about this stuff, and it would just, I think, do people very well to sort of see this come about in such a way for PlayStation and PlayStation 5. And I got to say that this really kind of gets me excited going forward. But I also want to point out that this is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt as we go forward with these type of things, because this is something that, we don't want to go run rampant and then all of a sudden, we're stuck feeling bad that, we got a little bit too excited over this stuff and, it ends up not coming true or whatever. So please keep that in mind as we kind of go forward. I think that this is going to be something cool, though, and I'm very excited to say the least. It's very cool to see this type of stuff happen, and the really cool way that Sony would be able to handle this. So yeah, very cool stuff. So here we go. It looks like the Silent Hill studio has changed, according to this recent rumor. Bluepoint Games is working on several Metal Gear Solid remakes. So this could be very interesting. A new Silent Hill could still be in the works at Sony. This reads like this, and I, of course, will link this in the description. Anybody that's new to the channel, please understand that any kind of news or rumor that I can link in the description for you guys to read and check on, I will do so. Before Konami was rumored to have licensed Silent Hill out to Bloober Team and a prominent Japanese developer, several reports stated that Sony was working on a new title in the series themselves. Of course, there was also rumors of a Metal Gear Solid remake, which is separate from the recent report of the IP being up for grabs. As part of this convoluted stream of rumors comes information from an insider on Reset Era who states that Silent Hill is still in the works by Sony. However, they noted that the studio has changed and couldn't disclose the new studio due to personal reasons. Even more interesting is the several Metal Gear Solid remakes are in the works, with Bluepoint handling development. Now, with regards to Silent Hill and whether it was being developed by internal Sony studios or published by the company, we're going to have to wait for more details. Unfortunately, when it comes to Castlevania, the franchise was in discussion, but that's apparently it. The insider noted that the information has been vetted by Reset Era staff, but take it with a grain of salt regardless. E3 2021 is coming up in June, and all kinds of rumors are beginning to circulate, like Kojima Productions reportedly in talks with Microsoft, which I've covered that numerous times before. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of new details and things that come about, But what do you guys think about this? If you guys remember back, I think maybe a year or so ago, Bluepoint Games made a tweet and made something, and there was a lot of different information in there. They hinted at obviously a Demon Souls remake. They hinted at something about metal and gears, and and so obviously they that's what their job is. Like if you guys don't know what Bluepoint Games do, they pretty much, for the most part, remake and remaster games. They did the Uncharted Collection remaster. They did, believe it or not, they ported the first Titanfall to Xbox 360 and did a pretty good job with that as well. They did Shadow of the Colossus remake on PlayStation 4. Really gorgeous game, one of the better looking games of all of last generation. Just a phenomenal job that they did with that. And of course they did Demon Souls to launch the PlayStation 5 with, so they're very well vetted and a very good group of people to do stuff like that. And we do know that Sony wants to rely a little bit more on some surefire things, and putting Metal Gear Solid out in a package, or remaking those games, would make a lot of sense. It would get a lot of people excited, and it would get a lot of people back on board with the PlayStation brand, I believe anyway. They would have to do a fantastic job with it, and I'm sure they would. Look, Konami's not really going to do much with this stuff. Kojima's not there anymore. It's been years. It's been already 5-6 years since the last Metal Gear game. So we could be seeing something happen where, Sony is making some moves on this stuff. And Sony is more known for these types of games. I know that, like, Metal Gear has been on other platforms for sure, but it's definitely like a 95% buy on PlayStation situation. You know what I mean? I think that that's something that a lot of people will probably have to kind of figure, and as we continue to see how this unfolds in the future, you know what I mean? I think we'll continue to see how this affects people going forward. But imagine that Sony announces something like this, and they get, the Metal Gear franchise maybe remastered. Again, you know how many people really want to play Metal Gear Solid 4 again? Like, the last time we played that was, I think 2008 or whenever it was. It was crazy, or it might even have been 2007, but I can't remember exactly when that game came out, so excuse me if I'm wrong with that. But, yeah, it's been so long, and that was tied to the PS3, that it would make absolute sense to maybe release a whole package of the first 4 games or whatever. Like, I love the collection, the HD collection or whatever. I think it's great. I really do just think that this would be a huge boon for Sony, and it would make a lot of sense because they have, the biggest impact on, like, the Japanese market and things like that, added between them and Microsoft, and they have the most Metal Gear fans from what I can tell, just from the sales and things like that. But yeah, again, this would be huge news. Obviously, something that, imagine Metal Gear updated with new today's style graphics, the way they did Demon Souls, no loading, none of that stuff. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. I also think that would be something that, what we see is that Sony's out there trying to get as much content as possible, right? And they're trying to get surefire hits. And I think that, I know that a lot of people are probably a little bit upset by, some of the niche stuff not being able to come out anymore. But I also think that, it makes a lot of sense to be able to go out there and do something like this for the fans and kind of accede some of that negativity. I think that a lot of people love the Metal Gear games. They would love to see remakes of these or remasters of these. I think remakes for sure, especially the first few, and especially 4, I guess. Like, the first 4 would be dope. I think that would be just absolutely fantastic and probably the smartest thing that Sony can do. And, I feel like that would probably even draw in some new fans. People would be like, well, I guess I'm going to get a PlayStation. And I like, for me personally, I would love to play through. And I know it's old games, but and I kind of poke fun at the whole old games thing, but there's some, like the Mass Effect series, right, that are just, something like KOTOR as well, that I just feel like game preservation, needs to update these games to make them look as good as they can, and then let us be able to play those games or whatever. And so I know Microsoft and Sony kind of go about things a little bit differently, but to be quite frank with you, I would rather earn new trophies in a remake or new achievements in a remake or remaster than just have an auto bump in something. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's something that you guys understand and know where I'm coming from on this, because I think that's very important going forward. I love game preservation, and seeing this kind of stuff come about really makes me happy. So I would love your guys' thoughts and input on this, though, as we go along. I will link this in the description. What do you guys think? Metal Gear remakes, PlayStation exclusives, announcement coming soon. Bluepoint Games. Lock it in. This is Crapgamer, and this has been Crapgamer Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.